Welcome to this week's episode of SNT's 10 and 10, where you get the top 10 space news stories in less than 10 minutes. In this week's show, we feature...
Is this the end of SLS? Commercial space stations. Hey, look, it's spinning. Just the tip. Oh my God, Elon Musk trying to kill deer now. Is this an Earth killer? Find out next on SNT.
60 seconds.
This week, coming in at number 10, Boeing gives its employees that are working on portions of the SLS program a potential job-affecting warning. SLS has not been officially canceled, but there most certainly is a debate about whether or not to continue this costly program that's taken over a decade to produce tangible results. All the money that was spent failed to return the Orion capsule with an intact heat shield. At SNT, we believe NASA administrators will still pursue Artemis 2 and 3, as the remainder of the program will shift to much more cost-effective commercial launch systems. This week, coming in at number 9, a few weeks ago, we covered the fact that the Perseverance rover had reached the crest of the Jezero crater. This week, JPL reports that they have just exhumed a sample of Martian strata from Silver Mountain, which is some of the oldest geological soil on the planet, which scientists believe came from deep within Mars following an impact event. The sample seen here is absolutely incredible looking and has a glassy metallic silver appearance. We can't wait for the sample return missions to get these samples back in the hands of geologists. This week, coming in at number 8, thanks to RGV aerial photography, we see that Pad B gets concrete in their pit. The new OLM nears completion at the Sanchez site at Starbase, both Booster 15 and Ship 34 near completion, as SpaceX prepares for IFT-8. Pad B also has cables strung on the lifting blocks installed for Tower B. SpaceX appears to be preparing to crush test a new tank at Massey's to confirm some design changes and iterations since the failure of Ship 33 on IFT-7. This week, coming in at number 7, Vast Space has a successful pressure test of Haven 1 test article. Although Vast was supposed to put Haven 1 into orbit this year, Haven 1's launch was delayed until May of 2026. It will be launched in a low Earth orbit by SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. Vast Space plans to develop these Haven modules into a new, first-of-its-kind commercial space station. This week, coming in at number 6, Rocket Lab launches.
2, 1.
This is the launch of the Electron Rocket on February 8, 2025, for the first time this year on a mission titled IoT for You and Me. The rocket was carrying an additional portion of the Kineas IoT satellite constellation that helps shipping companies keep track of their ships on the oceans. Go Electron. Go Kineas IoT.
Co-confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
There we have it, successful MECO stage separation and second stage ignition confirmed. Electron's second stage is now continuing the mission to orbit. Electron's fairing has been jettisoned. We are now at 3 minutes into flight with less than 6 minutes remaining in this second stage burn.
This was a successful deployment of the satellites and a huge success for Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab is certainly a company to watch. Their development of the Neutron reusable rocket system is certainly something that we all need to keep an eye on. Rocket Lab is an innovative company primed with exciting engineers that are looking for new ways to make space transport more efficient. And here we can see a comparison of the new Neutron rocket next to the Electron rocket. And the Electron rocket is a very small launch vehicle. We're excited to see Neutron kick in. Go Rocket Lab. On February 4, 2025, the Flying Phallus, better known as the New Shepard from Blue Origin, launches after a week delay. On NS-29, Blue Origin was conducting a lunar gravity simulation experiments on their typical ballistic trajectory. The Phallus goes up and down and out and in. Look at that telemetry, 18 miles an hour. In this quick snippet by Blue Origin on X, we can see the head of the Phallus separate into the cavern of space, beginning its undulating spin from RCS in an effort to simulate lunar gravity for the benefit of NASA experiments on board. And here we see the NS-29 mission coming into land. The booster is coming into LZ-1 to land. You see its ignition there. And the cool thing that differentiates the New Shepard landings from the Falcon 9 landings is Falcon 9 does a hover slam, where the New Shepard actually does a hover and soft landing. They actually do a really cool landing.
And touchdown. All right, that's all right. We've designed the system to have backups to the backups. This system can safely land with fewer than 3 parachutes.
As the capsule returned to Earth after its successful thrust into space, one of the chutes experienced some moments of ED. However, it finally got fully inflated just prior to contact with the target.
Backup systems. One of the nominal systems we use for touchdown is our retro thrust system. That might kick up a little bit of dust here. Let's take a look.
And that third chute looks like it is now inflated, which is great. And touchdown.
This week, coming in at number 4 on February 8, 2025, Booster 15, the Super Heavy booster for IFT-8, was rolled out to Pad A at Starbase by SpaceX for cryoproofing and possible test fire. Here's the video of it rolling out to the pad that was captured by Lab Padre Space. Thank you, Lab Padre Space. Link in the description. Here's a quick snippet of photo from Starbase Surfer of Booster 15 being lifted onto the orbital launch mount with its outer engines still visible because it's not fully in. And in this quick snippet by Starship Gazer, we see Booster 15 on its orbital launch mount at Pad A at Starbase, ready for testing. And as I sit here making this video, voila, just like that, NSF captures Booster 15 test fire on the morning of February 9, 2025. Watch shockwaves there, look at that. Now all that remains for Flight 8 is a test fire of Ship 34 and possibly the test crush on Tank 16 at Massey's. Once those are done, it'll be time for the full stack, wet dress rehearsal, and then Flight 8. All that remains is FAA approval after the IFT-7 RUD. Link to the NSF video is in the expanded description box below. This week, coming in at number 3, the SpaceX Falcon 9 has launched 6 times since our last episode. Some mission highlights include this mission that was out of Kennedy Space Center and a crazy landing with deer at LZ-1 at Kennedy Space Center.
And back ignition. Stage 1 boost back startup.
220,500 pounds of thrust in the vacuum of space.
Stage 2 terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
So here comes the booster down in for the landing through the fog, and there's a bunch of deer out on the pad. Look at the video. You're going to see them right there. Run, deer, run. Here it comes.
We're hearing that sonic boom of
Stage
re-entry.
1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And then this cool shot from the February 1st launch at Vandenberg. This one taken from LA by Astrophotography. Crazy shot of first and second stage separation. And finally, we have this February 8th launch out of KSC, visible from my hometown, Wilmington, North Carolina. Photo by my friend Stephanie Boucher. This week, coming in at number 2, Asteroid 2024 YR4 is on an earthbound trajectory. There's a possible impact event in 2032. YR4 is on a 4-year orbital period around our sun, and every 4 years its orbit intersects the Earth. We'll get a closer approach in 2028 with hopeful radar returns, and scientists hope for a better solution on its exact orbital path so we can get a closer estimate on impact probabilities. Right now, with what we know, scientists are predicting a 2% chance of impact, which is of significant concern given the size of YR4. The article is in the expanded description box below. And finally this week, coming in at number 1, Firefly Aerospace goes TLI on the Blue Ghost lander. She's on the way to the moon. Firefly Aerospace was slow to deliver the news, but on the morning of February 9th, 2025, it's been a busy space day today. They reported on X that they had a successful TLI burn on the Blue Ghost lander and that the lander is well on its way to the moon. Even though the Blue Ghost is unmanned, this is a very exciting mission for multiple reasons. As part of the Artemis project and the fact that it was launched from a Falcon 9. But this mission proves that we currently have cheaper infrastructure available to launch to the moon if SLS does get canceled. Both Falcon Heavy and SpaceX Super Heavy boosters could certainly loft second stages capable of reaching the moon with a lander aboard, similar to the Saturn V. We don't need SLS. It's a waste of money. Blue Origin's also proven its capability to potentially be a heavy lift competitor as well with the New Glenn. Commercial space companies are gearing up to provide cheaper, more cost-effective means of heavy lift vehicles than the money pit SLS has become. We got a bit distracted there. We really want to congratulate Firefly Space on the TLI, and we all can't wait to see the photos of a shrinking blue ball and for the increasing size of our distant gray moon. Well, that'll do it for SNT this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week, hopefully with more excellent Starship news. We're fast approaching IFT-8, and we really need this mission to succeed. Tune in next week to see our progress.
60 seconds.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.